Good late evening on this approaching gorgeous, beautiful, stunning sunset in late spring, late May now, in the greater Bloomington metropolitan area in central Illinois. This is Vincenzo'S Gold Crypto Investing, where you come for a probability-based, company-made, nobody cares about the NBA finalist of some bullshit, probability-based trading alert, right? I'm not a financial advisor. This is strictly educational and entertainment-based Targzian trading alert. Educational and entertainment-based show. Brief look at the gold market. It's up $100 from last week, so it's doing good. Silver's up about $1.50 from last week. I just bought more B2 gold, about 150 shares at about $5.16, 17 or 18 cents. About 200 more shares of AAU on the dip this week. When my old man on Monday accused me of being part of the criminal gangster cartel because the price went down. Roscon, I haven't bought anymore. Great Panther, I've just been holding firm on that because it's above what I paid for it. But this is going to be a fast-paced news style. We're going to start with XRP, see where we're at. We're getting some pump. We're getting a little bit of pumps going on in the market. Let's get rid of that noise. Let's get rid of that noise, right? Let's get rid of that noise. We don't need that in there. We don't need that in there either. We don't need that, right? Should have pulled the erase. Sorry, eraser. This would have been a good time for you. Look at all that shit I could have used you for. Get that shit out of there. How many fucking... Obviously, that was a major point of emphasis up there. But in this fast-paced rundown, you can kind of see what we had going on for you here this morning when we were drawing this out in XRP. We told you the 200-day that was up here about 140 would be trending down the moving average. And the 100-day that's sitting at 130 or $1.33 would kind of come on each other. There's still no volume coming in, so that's bearish. And you have an up and sideways consolidation that's very bearish, often a sign the buyers are being exhausted. And I think more probable in XRP tonight is if you zoom in to get more sexy glowing data points, with the volume continuing down, and the only time you see any pumping volume is when the price is crashing, right? I think what you're going to do tonight is you might come up here and test the downsloping 200. Again, NBA Finals, you don't care. Finalists. And then I think we're going to come down, and I think we're going to bounce on this underneath long-term or medium-term support, and I think you're going to bounce on this tonight in XRP. Outside chance that when you retest the downsloping 200 at $1.25, you break and try to make a run at the downsloping 50-day moving average at about, depending on where you hit it, anywhere from $1.38 to $1.35. Outside chance at this, not plausible. I think this right here, this is more plausible. Getting rejected at 123 and then coming down to your traded area. See that? And you're going to bounce from the 113 to the $1.05 and just slowly consolidate down. I think that's what you're doing in XRP tonight. Outside chance, but not probable that we trade that way, right? The most plausible solution is the solution. We pull our little drawing tool back out. We erased it. Our most plausible solution is we come up to the 200 and that overhead resistance right below the 200. Then we trade down into this traded area and then bounce, right? We just kind of bounce from the $1.07 to the $1.12 range tonight. That's the most plausible scenario, so I'm going to keep that at a 3, so it's bigger, and then we're going to go into our color, and we're going to make it a fantastic glowing green because I like green. I think that is the most plausible scenario in XRP tonight. ZIL and a fast-paced rundown. Ooh, we're getting a pump in ZIL. See, this is something XRP could do tonight too. Some of the other coins are doing it. In the hour time frame, at least you got a better volume there, right? But you notice this wick, we're about 60% into the candle, and you can see there's sell pressure, which would make sense because you got the 200-day moving average coming in. And we told you this morning in ZIL, I believe we were in here, we said we could come up and test the 200 downsloping, and then if we had volume, you could try to break out and make a bullish return after you were overbought. And we said your next logical place would be if you could break that 200-day moving average in the hour time frame at the 13 cent level, you could try to make a run at the downsloping 200-day moving average up around 16, 17 cents because there's a lot of overhead resistance here. And it would make sense in our probability-based model that we're seeing that we'll make that the same color as, no, wrong one. We'll make this the same color as the moving average, right? Or similar. And that's pretty fucking good. What we could be forming here is a hook nose bearish reversal pattern, right? It's suckers and buyers. You get that long wick down here on the 3 hour, and you see how you got a long wick going up towards the candle body. That means there was a lot of buyers stacked at key Fibonacci and key support levels, and that usually you could get a bullish pump out of that. But now that you're trading in a wedge pattern, you see that? We're going to make that a different color. Say you're trading in a wedge pattern. You kind of got your underneath support and then your overhead resistance. It looks like the wedge patterns that I draw out. Those are bearish with the crashing volume. Very bearish. But sometimes they can pump a little longer and make a run right up to the overhead moving average, and the 200 moving average at about 15.5 cents, all the way up as high as 18 cents. And then they roll over in that hook nose. We call it the hook nose bearish pattern because it looks like a hook nose, right? You got a hook, and then it's like a big nose at the front, right? Let's draw this out again with our line too. You got the bottom, and then the hook, and then the nose, the hook nose, right? You see that? And we called that on Zill last week. It was a beautiful call, and it did that beautifully and came up to the moving average. So most plausible scenario is we get rejected by that 200 at the 13 to 14.5 cent level, and we come back down to underneath support tonight. Outside shot, we make a run at that hook nose bearish reversal pattern. We run into the moving average, the 200-day downsloping moving average at about 15 cents, 14 to 15.5 cents, and then we come back down to underneath support, right? Those are our two scenarios. I'm going to leave that one back and off because that's our least plausible solution out of our probability-based data set that I looked at this evening for you. And we're going to make that bigger, and that's our most plausible solution this evening. We'll see how that plays out in the short-term 24-hour forecast. XLM, you see we're really not doing anything yet. We're forming this. We're all in the same pattern, and they're all bearish, right? Let's clear this noise out. They're all bearish. You see that's got the same long candle wick as Zill, but the volume the same as Zill is bearish, right? And then we're forming that hook nose, and we're going to run up against the moving averages, and I think we're going to come down in XLM because this was our first target that we called, or actually it was down lower, but we nailed it. You know, saved our subscribers 65% on this coin from 2 days ago when I just so happened to have a random subscriber wanting it. But you see we're fighting. If we zoom in, we're fighting right now. We made the video this morning here, and we said we thought we were going to trade up and sideways in between the 200 moving average and the 50. And we thought we would trade sideways and up to the overhead resistance and then get rejected and come down here. And you see the days went on, we had a pump, right? But we had crashing volume, so that's bearish, right? Crashing volume and an up and sideways consolidation, bearish, right? And now we came down and we're retesting a traded area in the 47 cent. You see that to the 48.5 to 49 cent. And I think we still can come back up with light volume this evening and come up to this overhead 200-day moving average between 50 cents and 51.5 cents. And an outside shot that we make a run at 54 to even 56, major overhead resistance, and then come back down to retest. Hey, my food's coming, so we're going to have to make this quick. And retest the 45 to 46 level. And then make a decision, does the probability in the chart and the news say we're going to break down? Or are we seeing some bullish signs in the chart? Any kind of bearish hidden divergences in there, right? So that's what we think we got going on in XLM. We did XRP. If you guys ever want Apple, Smith & Wesson, copper, anything like that, in vitro pharmaceuticals, any of this other shit, you let me know what you want me to break down for you. I can break it all down, right? The next coin that we wanted to hit 3 of them in this video. We did Doge a lot. Digibyte, there's my boy Digibyte. Remember when we saved you 68% in Digibyte? It's in the same pattern as everybody else. But Digibyte, XRP, and the other coin that I just did, I pull our favorite measuring tool out right here. I put an emergency sell alert at 14 cents. Save the subscribers in liquidation to the bottom 62%. And at current price, we're somewhere over here. You're 35 to 40% down still. Same thing, Doge, nailed it. Bitcoin nailed it. DigiByte nailed it, right? So we all see that. And then we put this down-sloping short-term overhead green line. That's our overhead resistance. And that's why we have this, because when we bounced on this wick and then came up and then came back down, this was what we thought was going to happen. We were going to come up and get rejected by this overhead, the overhead moving averages and the overhead resistance. You see that? And then from the time we made this down here, you see that? And how we said we're going to come up here the other day when we made this video, it just did it quicker, right? But we got crashing volume still after we moved from the 0.065 to 6.5 cent level, and we pumped up to the moving average at the 10 cent level, which is a confirmation of our probability-based forecast right there. You see that? It just did it quicker, right? We drew it out to come out, out here. It just pumped quicker. But what we think is going to happen as the volume is still crashing, the most recent candle volume at the 9 cent level where you're consolidating is very bearish. There's no volume. I think you're going to come up and retest this 200-day and the overhead major resistance one last time to form a local double top between 8 3/4 cents and 10 3/4 cents. And then I think you're going to come back down. But you're going to trade down. You're going to trade down. You're going to come back to resistance at the 8 cent level, get a little pump, and then come back down and trade down to the 8 to 7 cent level. The 7 to 8 cent level, you got a lot of trading, a lot of support, and then I think you're going to ultimately trade down to here to retest underneath support at 6 cents, 6.5 cents. Like, subscribe, and share. We're to $2.10 to our $100 challenge to start our technical analysis classes so the whole audience can hear it. You all have the right to hear it, and you all have the right to hear it at the cheapest possible price, and this is the best way to do it because my classes were getting too big, and I figured instead of raising the prices to $200, $300, $400, $500 like the shysters, let's do it a group way to pay for these classes. That one person, if you wanted to take the class, would have to pay $50, $100 right now for a 5-hour class. Why not that same person that was going to pay $50 or $100 pay $5, and then 5 other people that were going to pay $5, and they're getting that class at 95% off? That's another probability-based way to take my trading style into your real life, invest in your education, become that entrepreneur millionaire like Vincenzo's Gold Crypto Investing is going to become, and keep moving, keep having that confidence, and I'm going to teach you how to decipher, to diagnose, and dissect the charts in a probability-based style and system, right? Peace and love, peace and love.